Welcome back to Social Studies. Today, citizens, we are going to talk about local government. But first, I wanted to show you the glossary page of this text at the back. Remember that a glossary gives us definitions for tricky words. So there might be some words like colonists that you may not be as familiar with. Colonists were people who left England to settle in America or to start a new life in the United States of America. Democracy is a form of government in which people choose their leaders through elections, like the one we have coming up. So then elected means to be chosen by a vote. Federal is a sparkly word for the central power of the United States. It's like national. Funds, you might know as money. Governed means made decisions about laws and the ways the country works, including taxes and social programs. You know the word independence because you do a lot of work independently. And then we will get into licenses and permits later on. So we're going to move all the way back to chapter 1. How local governments formed. How was government formed in the United States? It started at the local level, so that means it started small. The first colonists, remember that tricky word, were ruled by Great Britain, but they governed themselves. So they had to follow Great Britain's rules, but they were able to manage life and make their own decisions. They held meetings, they voted on issues, and they created rules to live by. After independence from Great Britain, state governments were created. So we're going from local now, small, to a little bit bigger, state. Federal government formed too. Remember, federal is national, so that is our country. This was a new democracy. Remember, democracy is a government where the people vote for the candidates to be in charge and rule their local or their state or their federal government. But towns and cities still need local governments. Why? But towns and cities still needed local governments. Why? Local leaders knew the needs of their citizens best, and state leaders could not do all of the work. They had bigger issues to work on. This still holds true today. That's why your parents vote for people in Charlotte, for people in North Carolina, and for people in the United States of America. Chapter 2, different governments. There are many kinds of places to live. We can live in a city, we can live in a small town, or we can live in the country. Most of us live in Matthews, which is a town. Leaders in different areas may have different names. County commissioners, mayors, city council members, township supervisors, city managers, they have one thing in common. They want us to have a better place to live. Many leaders are elected. Who elects them? The people who live there. Just like these people are putting in their ballots in for their who they would like to be elected for that position. Take a look. There are 89,476 local governments. They are in counties, cities, villages, towns, townships, special districts. Some states have more than others. And if we look at the color on this map, the number of local governments per state, the ones in purple have over 3,000. The ones in orange have about 1,500 to 3,000, and then they get smaller and smaller. North Carolina is blue, so we have somewhere between 751 to 1,500 different local governments. County government is the biggest form of local government. It provides services that are too costly, it means they cost too much, for cities and towns. Like what? Like the sheriff's department, airports, jails, the roads between cities, programs to help people who need assistance or help by paying for certain things. Counties provide a court system, and counties might also offer libraries and parks. What do you think? We've already said that we live, most of us, in the town of Matthews. What services does it offer? And what services do you use? Well, the town of Matthews, we know, has a public library. We have parks. We have our local fire department and police department. Think about the services that you use. Chapter 3, Working Together. So what do citizens need from local government? The services we use every day, like law enforcement and fire departments, schools, public transportation such as buses and trains, trash disposal, and recycling. How are services paid for? Citizens pay taxes. We pay them when we buy things. We pay them on money we earn. What is our biggest tax? Property tax. Anyone who owns property or land must pay taxes on it, like a house. We also pay for licenses. A license gives you permission to own something or to do something. You might know of the driver's license. Yeah, like what? Like driving, camping, fishing. Even pets need licenses in some cities. Did you know? Does your neighborhood have street lights? The answer is probably yes. Do you have clean water to drink? Yes. Local government provides these services. Some businesses pay for permits to operate. What kind of businesses? Salons, restaurants, taxis. Money from permits helps pay for the services we use. Businesses must pay taxes as well. Where else do funds come from? Funds is a fancy name, remember, for money. The federal and state governments. Often there's not enough money. Why not? Leaders do not want to raise taxes, but citizens can help. How? By volunteering, donating to charities. We must all help to make our communities stronger. What do you think? Would you like to work in your local government someday? The end.